welcome to episode 7 of Movies and Us. I'm TJ.
I'm Marcus.
And this is the review show that reviews movies from the beginning, sometimes. And this is going to start off real great today with this episode, isn't it?
What you say that for? You forgot how to open it or something?
No, with your stupid introduction.
Oh, you didn't like that?
Nope.
Oh, I could talk like that the whole review.
Are you done?
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay. We're going into Swamp Thing 1982. Before we go any further to that, we got some unfinished business from last week. Marcus went back and watched the theatrical cut ending of Superman 2.
Yes, of Superman 2. Not the Donner cut, because that was abysmal. I saw the Superman 2 ending from the subway fight when Superman fought Non underground up until the ending. Far much better. So much better than the time travel ending. The shenanigans, the cheesiness, the still has charm. I liked it.
Okay, so what's your adjusted rating then?
I'm gonna give this one a. I'll give it a 7. I'll give this one a 7 because it's a good movie.
So you fall in line with me, 7. All right.
You get a 7 as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good movie. Holds up.
You didn't say that last week.
Yeah, because we're fucking time travel in it. Time travel's a terrible writing, structure, plot, device, people. Never use it. Okay, enough of Superman. Let's go to Swamp Thing.
All right. You sure we're ready to move on?
Oh, I've been ready.
Uh-huh. All right. Swamp Thing is a 91-minute release, February 19th, 1982.
Released when?
February 19th, 1982.
Oh, I thought you were stuttering in 1982. Okay.
If I was, are you making fun of me?
Yeah, because I stuttered too, so it's fine.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry.
All right.
Wait, I'm just imagining the angry stutterers running in. I sincerely hated how you made me. It's okay. Continue. I'm sorry.
Okay. We're just gonna move past that. This was released by MGM Studios, directed by Wes Craven, produced by Benjamin Melniker and Michael E. Uslan, written by Wes Craven and starring Louis Jordan and Adrienne Barbeau.
Music by Harry Manfredini. Cinematography by Robbie Greenberg. Edited by Richard Bracken.
I wasn't.
This is a Technicolor. It makes sense. So vivid.
I wasn't going that far with the credits.
Well, I want to. Okay.
No one cares who the cinematographer was.
Oh, people care. Trust me.
Dude, I know.
Us film nerds who do care.
Yeah, well, whatever. Oh, man. I am so lost in my notes now, thanks to you.
What? You say you want some more banner. Well, fun fact, this cinematographer, Robbie Greenberg, also worked on Dr. Dracula in 1978, Youngblood, or what the heck that is. I'm looking at his credits. He did Free Willy, 1993. See, that's something. Under Siege 2, Dark Territory, Fools Rush In. Don't know what that is. Scrolling through his credits, Yeah, no. Wild Hogs. He did Wild Hogs in 2007.
I never once said we needed more banter on this show. Never once did I say that.
Well, I thought it in a dream, and we're doing it, okay? He also did Santa Claus 3, The Escape Clause, 2006. So there's that.
Can we please get on track here?
Yeah. Let's go back to Swamp Thing. I don't know why you're talking about cinematographers with TJ.
So this movie was not what I expected it to be.
What did you expect it to be?
Well, a Wes Craven film. I thought it would be like at this point, I think he did The Hill Has Eyes.
Yes, that's correct. And
some other movie, something next door. I forget what it's called.
Well, this is his first, not his first. This is his 5th movie he written and directed. The first few were The Last House on the Left, The Fireworks Woman. I have no idea what that is. The Hills Have Eyes, Summer of Fear, and Deadly Blessing.
Last House on the Left was the one that I was thinking of.
Yes. He started off doing horror. And 2 years later, he did Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, no, that's why I was expecting more of a horror film, but we didn't really get one.
No, I mean, it definitely had its elements,
It had
but
its
not
trappings, but not. It's not. I mean, I didn't hate the movie or anything. It's just I was surprised at what we got.
same. It was way more tame. I expected more blood, and more limbs being torn off, and all that. But it was very just PG-13. Was it PG-13? This movie?
Well, no, that's funny. It's actually rated PG.
Wow.
This was before PG-13. On the wiki page on the release in home media, it says in August 2002, MGA released a DVD of this,
Yes.
and it was labeled with a PG-13 rated, but they accidentally used the 93-minute international cut, which contained more nudity and sexual content. But in May 2002, a Dallas woman rented it from Blockbuster for her children, and then reported this discrepancy. So MGM recalled the discs and re-released the actual U.S. theatrical cut.
I would rather have seen that version just to see how much Wes Craven is actually in that movie.
Well, the international release, yeah, me too.
Yes.
I was kind of disappointed when I realized I had the actual American one, because that one sounds more interesting.
Yeah, it sounds more Wes Craven. It sounds more horror-ish.
But it's only 2-minute difference.
But those 2 minutes can make a big difference. I know when it comes to, well, they didn't have it yet, but, oh man, what's it called? Motion MPA, whatever it's called. When they want you to cut down a film because it's too graphic or whatever, 30 seconds will make a big difference from an R-rated to PG-13. So 2 minutes, who knows?
Yeah, that's fair.
Let's talk about box office real quick. How much?
Okay.
We don't know how much it grossed, but we do know it costs around $2.5 to $3 million to produce.
And apparently Wes Craven was satisfied that he came in under budget and on time, so...
But also what came out this year was really... So many movies came out this year that topped the box office. And starting off with, like, E.T., Extraterrestrial, Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Rocky 3, Porky's, Arthur, Star Trek, Wrath of Khan, the list goes, Poltergeist, list goes on and on, Chariots of Fire, Annie, it keeps going on and on, First Blood, it keeps going on and on. This is a major list.
Yeah, this movie didn't stand a chance this year.
Blade Runner? Oh my god. Fast Times at Richmond High. I didn't read these the first time reading.
He has been doing this since before we started. So
many things. The Thing came out. The Thing. John Carpenter's The Thing. If you haven't seen that, watch that. This movie has moments of that in this, and that makes sense. You get what I'm saying, TJ?
Kind of.
Okay. What's the closest box office we had to do to distract it from this?
Okay.
Dark Crystal? Okay, that's enough.
Are you done?
I had to close it, yes.
All right. Now that you're done, I'm going to have to get a new co-host.
No.
Or at least a buffer co-host. We open in the swamp with a text scroll. Well, it pretty much tells you the story of Swamp Thing.
Wait, is that his story, I guess? That little text scroll?
It tells you what happened in the movie.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So, yeah, kind of spoilers, actually. But, and now we really open up with a woman on a helicopter coming into the swamp. And then we pan down to the swamp, and Rambo soldiers come out of the trees.
Okay, before we go any further, do they even explain why she's there and what they're doing, these soldiers? Like they later on explain, like...
Oh, no, hold up. Her in the helicopter is separate from the Rambo soldiers.
Yes.
The Rambo soldiers are the main bad guys' cronies.
Okay.
She is going there as a replacement scientist for the one that was leaving. Because when they land, a guy gets off of the boat and gets in the helicopter to leave. The swamp is, I guess, a nasty place to be for that long, and no one wants to do it.
I mean, it's a swamp, so yeah. You should know they're going in, right?
Yeah, but, people underestimate things like that, so it makes sense.
That's fair.
Yeah, so we get these Rambo soldiers. I say Rambo soldiers because one of them is wearing the red headband that Rambo wears.
He is.
His name is actually Ferret.
Yes.
And I know that because I read the first issue of Swamp Thing 1972 today as research, and he's actually in the comic.
Really?
Yep, him and the other Goon. What's his name?
Ritter,
Bruno.
Charlie. Okay.
Bruno, the big guy. They're both in it, and they're killed off in the first issue, but they do come in, and they do kill Alec Holland in the comic. So I thought that was interesting.
That is very interesting. So you're right. We're talking off Mike. So Wes Craven was loyal / a fan of Swamp Thing then.
Yeah, he really took a lot from the first issue of the comic. This was before the more popular 1980s run too. I think this movie I read that this movie actually spawned the re-release of Swamp Thing back in the comics, so they can capitalize on the name of it.
I could totally see that, because watching this movie, I was like kind of more curious about Swamp Thing.
We find one of the scientists is in the swamp for some reason. I guess he was fixing that machine that we are introduced to a little later. He was fixing a machine or something, but then he's like surrounded by Rambo soldiers.
Yeah.
They kill him with a snake.
Well, before they kill him, they surround him. He starts trying to run away in this knee-deep water. And this apparently we've got a theme in the show about chase scenes for me. It was like...
This is the first of many, yes.
Yeah, like, this chase scene was so, like, he was surrounded visually, like, he could see everyone around him. He was just, I'm running away, going so slow. Like, what are you doing, buddy? I know you're trying to fight for lift. What are you doing?
Well, you have to explain. He was running away in the swamp water, so he's like having to do that high lift of his legs in order to do it. So,
and you know that ground's all mud, so he ain't getting his legs up so quickly high. So,
and you know what's funny? I also noticed that I'm going to bring up now. They run through the swamp. There's a lot of chase scenes where they run through the swamps.
Yes,
but some of the times when they cut to the next scene and they're on land, they're all dry again.
All dry. Or there's a lot of scenes in this movie where they're trying to sneak up on someone while in the swamp. You know you can hear that water splashing.
Yeah.
Like, they're not sneaking up behind you.
This definitely's got a lot of cheesy horror movie tropes, too.
Yes. But they're not, like, offensively cheesy. Or at least not to me.
Right. Anyway, so they kill this guy with a snake, and that snake never comes back.
No, but you know... And where did he get the snake from, TJ?
Out of his pocket.
He pulls a goddamn 2-foot snake out of his poisonous snake, apparently, out of his pocket.
But it's superfluous, because it doesn't come back or anything.
No, it doesn't. There's nothing. We'll get to it.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I was happy for it, because I am irrationally afraid of snakes, and I hate snakes, so I'm glad it was gone, but it just made no sense. Why didn't it come back? Right?
Like, why use a snake? Why not just shoot the man?
Yeah, exactly.
You could just drown him like you do everyone else in this movie. Why pull a trouser snake out literally to bite the man to death?
I don't know. Anyway, back at Al Collins' secret lab that the U.S. government paid for out in the middle of the swamp.
Where the sensors are so easily disarmed.
So... They take, her name is Linda. No, Linda's not it. Her name is Alice.
No?
Yeah, her name's Alice.
Is it Al? See, I'm so bad with names, you're probably right. Oh, and it's Alice Cable, correct, yeah. Alice
Cable. So, Alice Cable gets brought to the secret lab where Alec Holland and Linda Holland are digging their hands in the swampy water, like it's like where they keep plants and stuff. And they're looking for something in the water.
Do you remember what he called it? I forget what he called it, what he was looking for.
It sounded like some kind of shovel or something.
Yeah.
And then he pulls it out, and it's a drowning raccoon.
Literally, like, I'm sorry. When I saw, like, was he holding that underwater to surprise her or something?
I think from how they implied it, the raccoon jumped in the water and was hiding from him.
Do raccoons do that, though?
I don't know, but it was under the water and it looked drowned.
Yeah, there's no way that thing's not trying to bottle for air. Is he not just going to sit underwater?
I guess. I don't know. It had some kind of algae or something on its fur that he's using to experiment. He's like a biologist or whatever the plant term is.
Botanist. Yes.
Yeah, he deals with plants and they're trying to get things to grow. So before we go any further, Alice Cable is the love interest in this, which is extremely interesting because she's a gender swap from the comic guy. I don't know his name, but his name's something Cable too.
Probably Alex then, right?
Maybe. But he was just like the he was the like agent in charge of protecting the Hollands, and Linda Holland wasn't Alec Holland's sister; it was his wife in the comic.
Oh, okay.
And Ferret, the goon, came up, and while Linda wasn't there, and blew up the lab, killing Alec Holland, which turned him into Swamp Thing. And then after the Swamp Thing, they came back and killed his wife too, separately.
Wait, are we talking about the movie or the comic book right now?
In the comic.
Okay, because that's very... I don't know if we're getting that far yet.
Yeah.
That happens in the movie pretty much, right?
Well, that's why I'm bringing it up now, because a few things happen a lot differently.
Like what, besides the gender swapping and the love triangle swapping?
We're not really there yet. We learned that he's studying recombinant DNA, combining plant and animal DNA.
Yeah, I wrote down my notes. I like, why is he like? What I wrote down my notes. Yeah, making plants with animalistic survival skills. He's like trying to fix world hunger or something with that.
Yeah, we'll get to what happens to that. But anyway, before I think this came after. Alec Holland takes Alice Cable out on a date, essentially. They're going to fix a sensor.
You would call that a date?
Well, they presented it like one.
I guess, yeah. I thought they were just playing around being, I guess it's a date, yeah.
No, he took her out. He's like, come on, let's go get some fresh air. And they're in their little swamp boat, and he picks up flowers for her, and he's playing around with her and stuff. So it was a sensor date.
I guess. I thought it was just them being, like, friendly. I didn't see that as a date, but I can get that behind that.
I mean, what happens later, it's a date.
That's a weird, terrible date, I guess. I just thought they were just doing their job.
No, he wasn't even supposed to leave, because they come back, and everyone's mad that he left.
Yeah. Like, I figured he was trying to stretch his legs, get out of there, because he's tired of being cramped up, and, enjoy the swamp and his nature, because that's what he is, that's what he's into.
Yeah, but at the moment he saw her, he was all smiles, and like, oh, yeah, I know where this is going.
Yeah, because, like, the only other chick in there besides his damn fucking sister, right?
I mean, I guess.
Yeah, so, like, there's a lot of sexism, not a lot of sexism, but the guys on the other scientists say a lot, like, that's no place for a girl. And stuff like that. Just want to say that.
That's true, because they accidentally find out that their experiment is volatile, so when you drop some of it, it explodes.
Yeah.
But after the explosion, it grows plants very fast. And so when Alec discovers this, he celebrates by forcibly kissing her.
Yeah, I didn't like that. Didn't like that at all.
Nope. He just kissed her out of nowhere.
And that was like Superman level rape. I don't like that.
And that's not the only time a forced kiss happens in this either.
No, it's not.
Anyway, did you know in 2001 we all were going to starve from lack of corn?
You picked up on that too?
Yeah.
That was part of his save the world from hunger kind of rant, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like, corn in the USA, because in 2001 we're going to have food shortages.
And as they say that, apparently he has like a little picture of a starving African kid on his wall for some reason. I guess motivation, but
I didn't get a background sign this time around.
No, they legit cut to it. Like, as she's saying that to her, she looks up at it, and they cut to that picture. It's like, okay, people starve.
I did catch a product placement later.
Oh, did you?
Yep.
What product placement you? Oh, okay. Yeah.
Anyway, so, everything's going well. I mean, actually, they're about to close up this place and take them back to Washington, because Washington doesn't trust that Alec, don't trust them for some reason or something. They want him close because his experiments everyone wants it, apparently.
Like I said, I feel like the beginning was very vague. There's a lot of detail missing.
They kind of explained a lot of it. It was just in like a line or two, though, here or there.
So I guess wasn't paying attention enough. Who knows?
Anyway, the Rambo soldiers come and attack the secret lab.
Yeah.
I don't know how they know where it is. Oh, I do know how they know where it is.
yeah, you know.
Anyway, but before they manage to get into the thing, they have to deal with all the I guess they're not soldiers. I guess they were like agents, right?
I would call them I think they're all scientists, right? Or no?
No, because they're carrying guns and crap.
Yeah, true. What the fuck are they?
I think everyone but Alec and his sister are agents protected him.
That's unnecessary. There's got to be at least 2 more scientists in this place.
Well, it's more than they got in the comics. They left those people completely unprotected in the comics. They got murdered twice in the comics with no protection. With no protection, no nothing. They just had a patrol car circling for their protection.
I mean, that would make more sense, honestly, because it's less suspicious. I don't know.
Not really, but this place is in the middle of a swamp. You have to get there by boat.
True. And ghillie suits, or the hell they guts are wearing.
Anyway, the soldiers attack, and Alice is outside at the time, and then she actually kicks some ass in the beginning here. They show her to fight off a couple of these goons.
Yeah, she doesn't. She's afraid, but she's not like whimpering in a corner. She actually knocks one guy out, takes someone else's gun.
So take that in, because that's the last time she's going to be useful in this.
Yeah, you saw that. You noticed that, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
But anyway, we get the reveal of the movie that the guy who's the scientist guy that's in charge of the thing, watching out for Alec, is actually in disguise as Anton Arcane. He takes off his mask.
Yeah, the mask is one of the Mission Impossible masks, where there's a lifelike face on top of yours. And the same good voice identifier, too, apparently.
You know, the effects in this isn't bad.
No, well, later on, the effects and the set design start off really well, and they start to go downhill later on.
Well, the Swamp Thing suit isn't bad, though.
And the creature he fights later on was pretty terrible.
The last creature, sure.
Yeah, that was.
But
that was awful.
That whole ending, it came out of nowhere. That was kind of weird.
I loved it.
So he reveals himself, so he's giving over all his research and the liquid and stuff. But his sister elbows him, tries to take the books from him, and she gets shot dead.
Right in the back.
Yeah, and I was actually surprised there because I didn't know in the comics that Linda dies.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know that he was his wife in the comics either, though.
So did you read the comics after this then, I guess?
Yeah, I read it afterward so that I can have a compare and contrast.
That's fair.
I didn't expect the first issue to be like this, though. I expected it to be like different, like the origin to be a little different.
Like more campier or more like...
No, like just the story beats were similar.
Oh, okay.
How they got killed and stuff like that.
That makes me happy, honestly. I'm glad Wes Craven was faithful to this stuff.
And especially this next part where the lab gets set on fire, and then Alec Holland gets set on fire, and he runs out of it on fire and jumps into the swamp.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. That like the special effects for when they throw the liquid on the ground, how it explodes. Like liquid exploding scene, that was pretty cool. And then they set this man from head to toe on fire, and he's just running for a good minute or two.
But that whole sequence, him running, is almost panel for panel from the comic.
Really?
Yeah.
That's fascinating. So that's really cool then. I want to read the books now.
Yeah, like, you could tell he liked that panel and decided, well, I'm going with this.
Man, I wish more directors would do that, because literally, comic books are just storyboards. The story's good, just follow that. I mean, obviously, expand it more if it needs some more detail, et cetera, but the storyboards, follow them.
Anyway, they think they have killed everybody, the Rambo guards, the Rambo soldiers, I should say. So they're collecting stuff. They find Linda's pendant, and then we find out Bruno's sympathetic.
Hold on. That's our second black guy, by the way, who finds the pendant. His name was, drumroll, Tyrone. Fucking Tyrone. Well, he had... What?
Tyrone gets shot in the forest pretty early.
He does. But he had speaking lines and he wasn't on stereotypes, so I was cool with that, besides his name. Well, yeah, continue.
I didn't even notice he was there because he was just another person.
He was just... And that's why I liked it. Like, I was like, well... me and my black keen ear, I could hear him, like, he's talking off screen for a second, like, wait, is there a black guy in the movie? Well, and then they showed him, like, hey, there's a black guy.
Well, my pale skin, I didn't even notice.
I guess you don't hear or see color, huh?
Well, no, they did a good job with that because they didn't give him any black stereotypes from the early 80s and late 70s. I didn't even notice. I just thought he was another guy.
Yeah, no, definitely, yeah. He's just dressed up in the military garb like everyone else, just talking like, hey, I found this. What are we going to do with it? Yeah.
I didn't look at that guy and say, oh, hey, he's black.
Well, as a black person, that's what we do.
That's the way you do.
Yes. Make sure we're not the first ones killed off like in every damn movie. And we just make sure we have some good lines.
It's going to be really ironic when you're the one driving away all the black audience to this show. Anyway, we find out Bruno's sympathetic. He's the heavy-set, timid guard. He comes back later, so that's why I'm bringing it up. But they find out that Alice is still alive, so they chase her around, and then they attempt to drown her.
Yeah, that drowning scene was weird and weak.
Yeah, it was...
Because when they're drowning her, they're just bobbing her up and down, like, we're doing some bad stuff, and they push her down. Like, she could have easily gotten away from that in the first place and or pulled him into there. But, like, they drown her, she bobs up and down, and
then she actually drowns, and then 30 minutes into the movie, we get our titular character, Swamp Thing. Actually, I wrote Alice drowns and becomes Swamp Thing. Oh, my God.
That's what it looks like, right?
Yeah. Anyway, Swamp Thing throws a couple of guys around. Get used to that, because that's pretty much all he does for most of this movie. Is just throw people.
Yeah, sadly.
And then he takes Alice to a brush. Did you notice this? He lays her down in the brush and takes one twig and puts her on her feet and considers that hidden.
Yes.
I was like, Swamp Thing hides Alice with a branch.
I love it.
And then it's Swamp Thing versus the Rambo soldiers, and he beats them up, and they run.
Does he kill anyone though? I don't remember him killing anybody.
No, not yet.
Yeah, right now it's like I said, mostly PG, just knockout, no blood kind of stuff, throw around, tussle.
Yeah, he just throws them around a bit. They run away, and then we get a very, very weird scene for me. His name's Anton Arcane. He is the main Swamp Thing antagonist, essentially, in the comics.
Okay.
And he's the main villain in this. But we go back to his house.
Yes.
And he sits down, and he's monologuing to this girl who looks like she's high.
Yes.
And she's just praising the hell out of him. And she's just so subdued throughout this entire movie. She only shows up like 3 times. And she just it seems so fascinated in this guy, and so she was just such a strange character. Like she's like mind controlled by him or something.
Yeah,
something was really off with her, and it really creeped me out a little bit.
And I think that's what he's going for, Wes Craven, like either mind controlled or drugged, or he maybe just gave her direction. I want you to be infatuated with Arcane. Just act like the best, like he's like the best thing you've seen, and that's how she gets delivered it. Because it's off-putting for sure. Even Arcane, I like he's an off-putting villain.
He is, but then there's another girl who seems to be like the real love interest. Yes. Or at least the real guy. So she just seems to be there, and I don't know what her purpose is. The other girl seems to be like his assistant or something. But she's just there to say, you're great, apparently. Yeah,
it's weird. Like, feed him his tea and coffee over drinks. Like, she's weird. It's very weird.
All right. Then, I'm prepared. I'm preparing for this next scene. So Alice gets away and shows up at a gas station. And, Marcus, I didn't know you were in this movie.
See, that's racist, TJ. Telling me I'm going to be the one to drive viewers away. This little country bumpkin black kid, I love this kid. He's great.
Well, he so doesn't fit in this movie.
Well, okay. What do you mean by that, huh? No, what do you mean by that?
Like his clothes, and he just stands out among all the other colors in this. It's all vibrant green and stuff, and everyone else is all dirty and like. They're wet and stuff like that, and there's just this kid that looked like he should be sitting on like playing out in the street or something, you know? Yeah. He doesn't fit in this environment. He looks like he should be in the city or something.
Well, see, I think he fits in. Well, for being, I guess this was filmed in South Carolina, I think, so he's got that southern I'm just here to be here kind of vibe.
I guess, but I didn't say he was you because of racism.
Mm-hmm.
Because he legitimately reminded me of you. That's how I pictured you when you were younger.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't like that t-shirt. Really? You expected me to slow-minded? No, well, guess what?
No, just like I don't give a crap about anything that's going on.
I mean, you're not wrong. That was me, and that is me.
I got such a Marcus vibe from him that in my notes I wrote your name every time. I don't even know his real name.
I think his name was Jade or Jaden or something. I called him Jake. I don't remember his name. It's Jude. It's Jude. I'm looking at it right now. Jude.
I wrote Marcus every other time.
That's fair. That's because that was me. That's who I am.
And then, so she's in there, and she's like, "Do you have a phone?" He's like, "Yeah." And she calls, I guess, the Washington, and they cut her to the villain who was undercover as this. That's how everything happened.
Yes.
So she tells them everything, and now they know where he is. And then we get a weird scene where the cars go
yes.
unnecessarily stunts turning, I guess.
I wrote down in my notes, worst U-turn ever. But they try their hardest to make it look like so dramatic.
Yeah, I wrote unnecessarily driving.
Seriously, it's so dangerous. And the road's empty, so I don't know why it did it this way.
I don't know, but they didn't stop it. It was just like they kept turning, like skidding around and stuff in each other, almost hitting each other. And I'm like, one of them's a limo, the other's a truck. I'm like, what are you doing?
And then one of the limo has the main bad guy in it, so you're going to put his life in danger for a U-turn? What are you doing?
Yeah. And then we cut back to the gas station where they're waiting, and this is where we get Coke product placement.
Delicious, good old Coke in a hot southern bayou.
She's trying to get a Coke out of the machine, but the machine's not working. This gas station does not look like it is opened.
No, I think this kid's just, what's it called, squatting there or something. Because she even asked him, hey, where are your parents at? And he just totally diverts the question to something else.
But she's like, do you have a gun? And he says, what does this look like? Yeah, I have a gun. And he opens a drawer.
So he's either this kid's on the lam for something or just ran away from home or what. I don't know.
Or maybe his parents say, you're working this gas station. Don't leave here.
But the phone booth outside's run down. I didn't see any gas pumps outside.
Yeah, there isn't a single gas pump in there.
Yeah, no, it's just a convenience store, if anything.
But it does have all of the convenience store stuff.
Yeah, you're right. Maybe. Here's my theory. He killed the goddamn owners. Their bodies are somewhere in the freezer in the back, and he's just sitting there, just contemplating life on what he just did.
Maybe, but but to be fair, the Coke machine doesn't work.
No.
So they have to Fonzie it to get Coke out of it.
Yes.
And then the gun that she takes from him blows up in her hands when she shoots it. So she tries to protect the kid by running away, and we get another chase sequence.
Another one. That's what this movie pretty much is, just chasing through the swamps, honestly. A lot of running.
But she's running through the swamps, and they're chasing it with her in a car, and can't seem to catch her in a car.
Yeah, no. There's a scene where they get right on her, and they cut away. Let's see what they were on top of her.
Right.
Yeah.
And so eventually she trips, and they're about to run her down, and then Swamp Thing appears out of the forest. We get our first... No, I guess he was revealed earlier.
I guess this is like his full body hero moment, though, I guess.
Yeah. Comes out, and he pretty much, claps the car like you would clap someone's ear and just breaks it.
The first ever superhero movie, stand in the road and stop the car with my own body, prove strength moment. Because it happens a lot nowadays in cinema.
That's fair. And then he rips, the top of the car off and beats them up. And then they chase him. I guess forget how they transition out of this scene. Do they chase him off?
They shoot at him, and the bullets won't do anything on him. So most of them run away. The main, I guess his name's Ferret, the other bad dude, takes the chick and gets I zoned out a lot in this movie. I'm looking at it right now, and he took her, and they're wrestling, and I guess Swamp Thing comes up to him and beats him down, makes him run away too.
Yeah, but I wrote Swamp Thing claps a car, and then my next note is Marcus shows up out of nowhere.
Oh, he does. He does. Because when those guys are beaten down and run away because they're afraid, they don't know what that thing is, she's in the water, and he's trying to help her out, Swamp Thing.
Oh,
and she's shoo, get out of here.
She's shooing him away, and he turns around and walks away.
If I saw that beast, that'd be the last thing. I would just be shivering, quivering, and panicking.
And then you show up out of nowhere.
Literally, this kid out of nowhere, after the whole car chase, he knew exactly where she was. Just pops up. Hey, how you doing? What happened to that car over there? Oh, a tree, huh? Yeah, tree of feet, huh? Sorry, that was me, TJ, as a kid, right?
Minus the giant Urkel glasses.
Yeah.
Anyway, we cut back to Arcane's place, right?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yes. The guys are reporting back what happens.
Right, and two things that I noticed in this scene, because it's just nothing. It's just them reporting and him telling them, capture Swamp Thing alive for me, because he has the formula inside of him.
Yes.
But I don't know why. Anytime I see a movie now and someone's smoking, it just stands out to me.
Because it's rare to see.
Arcane's smoking a cigarette walking down the stairs just casually, and it's just weird to see these days.
Yeah, because so much has changed. Like, it's so taboo to smoke in anything. It's really like, oh, they're doing that.
Arcane does a title drop.
Title drop?
So, yeah, he says Swamp Thing.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Yeah, he says this thing from the swamp. This Swamp Thing.
I'm glad I noticed that.
Anyway, we cut from Arcane's place to Swamp Thing howling in the swamp for some reason.
Yeah. Now, does he do that in the comic books? Does he, like, kind of stuff?
I mean, I don't know if he howls, but he is, like, a really depressing character. He's always haunted by his past and the death of his wife, and...
Oh, okay, I got a question before you take this review. How dramatic is his past before what happened?
Well, he was just a scientist before.
The Fantastic Four came before this, right, I think? That's an older comic, correct?
Fantastic Four... I think came out in the 60s.
Yeah, when did something come out?
1972 was the first series, but he debuted earlier than that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think he debuted in, like, a horror comic series.
Oh, you saying that, with him debuting in horror comics. Another thing I appreciate about this movie, 99% of this, 98% of this, 95% of this is shot in daylight. And I really enjoy that. So you guys just see the creature.
Everything.
Yes. Because I know nowadays, this kind of thing was shot pitch black. You could barely make out anything. So I appreciate this being shot daylight. Are you still looking for it? When we still
Yeah, keep filling time. I'm just looking at
fill
stuff.
the dead air.
Fantastic Four was September 9th, 1967.
Okay.
Well, it's giving me 1971. So yeah, he was in 1971.
Okay. That's a lazy name.
So it was only 2 years apart.
That's not bad. Now,
okay, what's your other question?
The Swamp Thing, is the Thing ever fight? Like, will they ever partners? Like, were they ever, like, crossovers?
I'm not too sure. Oh, the Thing in
Fantastic.
Marvel Comics.
Yes. Well,
Swamp Thing's DC Comics. House of Secrets is where Swamp Thing debuted.
Oh, we'll check that out later then. At our local comic book store. Make sure you support your local business people.
Yeah, you're not. He's not going to do that. I'm warning you right now.
Yeah, I'm doing that right now. I'm going to go there tomorrow.
So, after Swamp Thing gets done howling, Marcus, you're taking your date on a boat ride across the swamps.
Yeah, I like this little pink boat they have, a flower set up, this little scarecrow flower thing. I like this kid a lot. I connected with him, so I guess it is me, because I guess he's a cool kid. He's not a cool kid at all. But he's
definitely an awkward kid.
Very awkward, but very likable. Like, he's not... Because most kids in movies are so annoying and such bad acting. Granted, his acting's not that great, but he's playing his character really well. I like
but he doesn't have a lot of lines, though.
He does, you said?
He doesn't have a lot of lines.
He doesn't, but he's definitely a presence in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a superfluous presence.
Yes. Oh, but yeah, this little scene, want to explain it to them?
Hold on. Before we do that, just note, he's not in the comics.
Oh,
at least
no?
not that I've seen.
Oh.
I think he's an add-in for this movie.
I hope he's in the sequel, because I really did enjoy this kid a lot.
What were you going to say? What about the scene?
I was going to see, do you want to describe the scene to the viewers, the audience?
No, I want you to describe it.
Why me?
Because I don't remember what they say or do.
No, I got checked out, so I passed it off to you.
I think she's having him take her back to the lab to grab the notebook, because the next note I have is Swamp Thing goes home.
Yes, they're all on their way back to the lab to do stuff at the lab. And her and the kids having a conversation. Don't know what it's about. But yeah.
Yeah, so Swamp Thing's back at the lab, and he's, trying to do scientist stuff, and the beakers keep breaking. And I'm just watching the scene in the boat now, and why is there a little black baby doll in front of flowers on the boat?
That's not like... My theory is this kid is just a little fucking lunatic going around killing people. And that's his little getaway boat.
I didn't notice it until right now, the doll.
Yeah, no, it's creepy, isn't it?
Are you sure he's not a serial killer?
He's definitely a serial killer. He's going around the bayou, he's just, I'm going to kill people. This random Swamp Thing is like the perfect alibi now.
So, Swamp Thing's just being depressed. He finds his sister's pendant, so forth and so forth.
Yeah.
Alice shows up and sneaks around him, gets the notebook, runs away. And then the soldiers show up on boats, and they find Alice, but Swamp Thing interferes and starts attacking them.
Well, before we keep today, another side note real quick about the Swamp Thing. The actor nails down the stance to the Swamp Thing. I've noticed a lot from the images of the comics I've seen.
Yeah, he lumbers very well.
Yes. And B, that suit had to be hot.
Yeah, but it looks like it's just an outer layer.
It does. It looks like he's wearing like a latex, but like a thin latex to help move and breathe.
Right, because he looks like he's wearing pants and stuff underneath of it.
I'll be wearing just underwear, a bathing suit, because that's got to be just.
But
so
it does.
miserable.
It looks like it's just a Swamp Thing, like a thin layer of Swamp Thing over what you normally would wear.
Yeah, he went to a party store.
But it's not bad.
No, this one isn't bad. No.
It looks like it's professionally done costume,
Yeah, but
it still does look like a costume. You're right.
Yes. There's no you really gotta just suspension of disbelief. There's no oh, I can see that in real life. This is trick or treat kind of people.
So, Swamp Thing fights the Rambo soldiers on boats, and they start shooting them and throwing grenades at them and stuff like that. And then Swamp Thing ends up attacking one of the speedboats and then drives the speedboat.
Yes.
Into another speedboat.
This is things you need to see in your life.
And then I wrote, Linda gives Marcus the notebook so she can get him killed.
When that kid showed... I zoned out a lot with my phone at this point on Facebook. I looked up at the screen, and I saw the kid dead. The boat comes up, so floating by, and his body's limped over. I was like, what happened to him? I like this kid. My heart broke a little bit. No. I saw myself in him.
So, the ferret, the main soldier guy, knocks the kid out and then kidnaps Alice. But Swamp Thing finds you, Marcus, and he picks him up.
Well, did he knock the kid out, or did he kill the kid?
No, he might have killed him. Because Swamp Thing has the ability, apparently, to revive anyone.
Yes.
Anyway, so let's just say he kills them. The Rambo soldier kills Marcus with strawberry jam.
Yeah, over his face.
Yep.
My favorite kind of jam.
It's not convincing blood at all.
No.
It's strawberry jam. But Swamp Thing manages to revive the strawberry jam off of him.
Now, is that a power he has in the comics?
Not that I've seen, but I wouldn't put it past him.
Okay, does he have powers, or he's just super strong and undying?
He can control plants.
Okay.
He can teleport between plants, phase into the ground in one place and show up in a different country and stuff.
Oh, so he's got no limits. That's how.
I mean, it depends on what continuity you're reading, really.
Oh, okay.
So some people go really all powerful god with them, and some people go basic, swamp monster with them.
What do you like? Me personally, I like the god aspect because that sounds unbreakable and sounds more threatening than just a lumbering thing.
I've always had a problem with Swamp Thing. It's got a dark tone to it, and I don't mind a dark tone, but the swamp darkness to it always kind of rubbed me the wrong way. I'm just not into it. his stories. I just never could get into them for some reason. Like, I can acknowledge there's nothing wrong with the stories. It's just not for me.
Did you get that same feeling in this movie?
No, this movie did not give me that feeling. This movie felt like camp cheese to me.
Now, is that because it was brightly lit and more 80s, or is it because...
It might have, because I did watch the new Swamp Thing series that came out in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
The one they released on the DC Universe. And that had the same Swamp Thing feeling that you get in the comics. And it just didn't hit with me there either.
Interesting, okay.
Yeah, and I recognize that show's actually pretty good. It's just not for me.
Yeah, I've been meaning to get to that. Okay.
Yeah, so, I don't know. For some reason, it's that swamp atmosphere, that location.
The dirty, the hot, all that, just...
Right. Because I like Vertigo stuff. Like, I don't have a problem with, like, the Sandman lore or John Constantine or anything. They're all pretty good. This never hit with me.
Interesting, okay. I would probably say the same for me because I've never given it a chance of day to learn more about Swamp Thing. Because like you said, I do like the lore. I like the things about it, personally.
I don't know. So, Alice is captured by the Rambo guards, and they bring them to a boat where main Rambo guard, Ferret, forces another kiss on her.
Yes.
Well, he didn't do it the first time. Alex did it the first time.
Both equally rapey.
Yeah. So she kicks him in the balls, and then jumps into the water, and we get another chase scene.
Yes, another fun swim chest / run chase scene.
She leads them right to Swamp Thing, and Swamp Thing versus Rambo happens.
Which I always want to see.
No, you didn't. You didn't even know Swamp Thing existed before this.
Yeah, I did. Well, I told you I just didn't give it a chance in my life. But yeah, they tussle and fight.
And Rambo cuts off Swamp Thing's arm.
Yeah, and blue and green blood squirts out of it. Swamp Thing has a meltdown, tears Rambo's head off. No.
Oh, no, he crushed it. Like, grabbed the top of it and just crushed him. I expected his eyes to pop out or something, but it didn't go that far.
It would have been beautiful if that would have happened.
But, it did show blood and stuff, so... Well, strawberry jam blood, anyway.
Yeah, exactly. It's just a jar of jam just brashed. You can hear the glass shatter.
Alice is scared and she's gonna run from him, but then Swamp Thing finally talks.
Yeah, it's what you expect.
And then, she realizes that he's Alec Conwyn, and then we get the big obligatory nudity scene where she's bathing while Swamp Thing watches.
Yeah, I thought that was so... Again, I was on my phone at this point, because, okay, it just happened, nothing, they're talking, they're romantic on my phone. I looked back up, like, why is she bathing? Why is Swamp Thing watching? This is weird.
He's got flowers in his hand.
Yeah.
And just watching her bathe. You don't see a lot. You get, like, a little bit of nudity from her, and then she's usually mostly under the water. But they show a little bit, and it's just like, oh, this is the obligatory horror 80 movie nudity scene, I guess.
Yeah, there's always got to be a topless chick. Even in zombie movies, a zombie's got to be topless, because, 80s. But it's a weird... Yeah, Swamp Thing's just staring, just watching. What's it like this? Is there a time frame in this movie? Like, how long ago was he normal?
This is days.
Yeah, so like less than a week. Like maybe like a day or two?
Yeah, I mean, he just... Because she was Actually, it's the next day, I think.
Yeah. So much has happened. She's comfortable getting naked in front of him, who she just met, and who's now a creature. This is weird. He's not far from her. He's still close.
To be fair, he's naked and doesn't seem to have any junk. So that bath scene leads into them getting captured again, and then Swamp Thing gets captured too with a net. So he's missing an arm. I guess that's their explanation for him getting captured after him beating him up forever. But then the movie takes a turn.
a good turn in my book. I don't know about you.
But it becomes a completely different movie from here on out.
Honestly, this movie, like every chapter of this movie feels different. There's the opening, lab, guerrilla warfare stuff. Then the Swamp Thing / Black Kid shows up. Like, when the Black Kid showed up, it became a different movie for me.
But at the same time, it all took place in the same place.
Yeah, fair.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because I wrote in my notes, back at Arcane Manor.
Yeah. Which this slowly turns into the alley with Dr. Maru.
Yeah.
Did you get that feeling?
Yeah. Anton Arcane is having a dinner party.
Yes.
He's got Alice tied to a chair in this little skimpy dress so that her breasts are falling out the whole rest of the movie.
Which is just the weirdest concept. And I guess at this dinner party is all of his henchmen, and I guess their wives and some other people. Also, there are other women in this, and other people. But, like, not one person's questioning, why is there a white chick tied up with her breast plopped out? Like, what's going on? Not one person's uncomfortable with this. They're all just like, yay.
Yeah, but I took it as they're all kind of in that, like that one girl we talked about earlier, because that one girl's there, like, they're all fanatics for him, it seemed like.
That would make sense. Like, he poisons with his own plant substance, or whatever. That would make more sense. This is like a very weird. Maybe this is a cult.
Maybe. I don't know. They don't explain it.
They don't.
But Arcane has the formula now.
Yes.
And he's going to test it out to see if he can make other Swamp Things. And then I just wrote, poor Bruno.
They all take a toast and they all drink at the same time. And he was giving this speech. So in my mind, I thought, oh my goodness, and they're all going to turn into something crazy. But no.
No, I knew it was Bruno because if you notice, everyone else was drinking from a glass.
Oh.
He was drinking out of a silver chalice.
Yes, okay, I see that now.
Yeah, so I was like, oh no. And then Bruno convulses, and he doesn't turn into Swamp Thing.
No, he turns. Well, his convulsion lasts for a good few minutes, and it's kind of eerie to watch him go. It's like, oh, I feel for you, Bruno. But what he turns into is something.
I wrote a Bruno troll.
That's exactly what I thought. It was a little piglet thing. Like, what am I looking at?
He looks like one of those trolls with the hair, except except it's not. He doesn't have hair up like that. It's just a troll.
Well, patches of hair on his body. Because he's okay. We didn't mention Bruno's like a 6'4" guy, muscly, bulky dude, bald. Like he's a brute. He's a brute. Like, you want to fight him, but he turns into this like little person.
He definitely does.
And then which I laughed louder at because his clothes shrank with him too. Like everything just let's make him tiny.
Everything was so ridiculous. I didn't even pick up on it. I was like, "What am I watching now?"
I know. I was grinning ear to ear. Like,
it turned into like one of those cheesy fantasy movies real quick.
Oh, yeah. And while he's doing this convulsion transforming stuff, they're cutting to reactions of people around the table, and they cut to a guy staring at him like, "Oh God!" and takes a sip of his water again. Like, what's going on? Like, it's so enjoyable.
But clearly, Anton doesn't think this works, so he goes downstairs where Swamp Thing's in chain, and he happens to have a throne sitting there that he can sit in while he's there.
Because of reasons.
And so he brings in Bruno Troll and locks him up. Then he brings in Alice and locks her up next to him.
Which is, why have one cell? Why not have multiple cells?
It's more cost efficient.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, because people won't gather together and get out of that cell. But they have their conversation. Him and Alec. What's the guy's name? Arcane and
Alec Collins.
Yes, Collins.
Or you can just call him Swamp Thing. He's Swamp Thing at this time.
And Mr. ST himself.
That's how I wrote it in my notes. ST.
Did you really?
Yeah.
See, we're the same person, TJ. You get me. I get you.
I didn't star in a movie in 1982.
Yeah, you did. I would say you're probably one of the henchmen in the background, probably. Mind his own business.
No, I don't have any. I don't have any speaking parts.
Oh, fair.
Anyway, so the formula amplifies who you are.
Not who you are physically, but who you are, I guess, personality-wise.
Who you are as essence-wise, yeah. Because Bruno was apparently stupid and timid. That's why he became small.
Yes.
And Swamp Thing, I guess he really loved plants, and that's why he became Swamp Thing.
And now I'm questioning, okay, we'll get to that later, what the guy turns into, the bad dude. That makes no damn sense.
Well, pretty much what happens next is he realizes that, okay, I'm brilliant, so I should turn into something amazing.
Yeah.
So he goes upstairs, he drinks some Echo Cooler, and then he, makes his weird servant ladies get him some brandy, while Swamp Thing tries to slowly reach for sunlight, because apparently that helps him.
Yeah, he's like the Swamp Thing version of, Superman. Just, I need light to, I guess photosynthesis, because plants, I don't know. Science talk.
Yeah, so the next thing that really happens, the major thing, because there's some talking and stuff going on, where Swamp Thing's trying to escape and he's desperate and stuff like that. But he finally reaches out through the sunlight and grows his hand back.
Yeah, it's the cutest little. It's like Groot, how it's just a twig at first, and then a little finger sprout.
Swamp Thing does have regenerative properties in the comics, so
Oh my god, I want to see Groot and Swamp Thing to be a team.
Different companies.
I know, and it's never gonna happen. It could happen.
But meanwhile, while he's growing his arm back and escaping from the prison cell, escaping from his change, I should say.
Yes.
Arcane transforms. At one point, Anton Arcane becomes the avatar of Rot. Because
you nerd.
Swamp Thing is the avatar of the green, which is trees and plant life and stuff like that. I don't know if you know who Animal Man is.
Who?
Animal Man.
No.
Buddy Barker. Well, he's a DC character, and he's the avatar of the red. He's, of animals and stuff like that.
Okay.
Rot is like the K and stuff like that.
Hold on, are these real avatars in the universe, or are these avatars from D&D? Because I know D&D stuff.
No, this is in DC lore.
Oh, interesting.
At least in 2013, and when they rebooted everything. I'm not sure about earlier continuity.
Okay.
I know Anton Arcane eventually becomes that. I don't know if he does it in the original 72 series comic run. So, I don't know. But when he was initially turned in, I thought, oh, they're actually going with that Rot thing where he becomes, part of Rot. He becomes this monster that combat with Swamp Thing. But I think this was way before that.
Okay.
But no, he doesn't transform into that.
No. Well, before
he transformed into something much stupider.
Yes. His transformation is like in 3 stages or 4 stages. The first stage, you can see him really just turn nasty.
Right, turn rotten. That's why I thought, oh, okay, we're going the Rot route here.
Like
this could be really cool.
Yeah, it's almost like Cronenberg level. Ugh, I don't want to see this. His body starts seeping out acid or something.
And then eventually he cocoons.
Yeah.
And then he tears off the cocoon.
And this is where the stupid thing appears.
I guess he's like a boar wolf or something.
Oh, that's so stupid. Oh, it's so ugly and dumb.
It looks like a bad Halloween mask. So, while he's Transformer... okay.
Sorry.
Bruno Troll tells them that if they, turn that light thing up there, it opens the cell automatically because we're stupid and we have a way out of the cell in case people...
I like that. You turn it right, they turn it left. I'm taking that for my campaigns. That's a clever idea, actually.
Not really.
I like that. Yeah, it's just in case, a henchman gets in here by accident. Instead of calling for help, she just gets out this way. I like that. I talked about that. Stupid.
You don't leave an escape route for your prisoners.
Well, they wouldn't have known if he wasn't there.
If you're trapped in a cell and you're not chained up and you're just free to look around, eventually you're going to get bored enough and you're going to turn that thing right and left.
I call bull. I don't think so. Maybe.
If I was, I would.
Yeah, well, you would now because you see this. And now you're doing it.
I would do it anyway because eventually I'd be like, all right, now I'm stuck in here for 24 hours. What the fuck am I going to do with myself?
You're going to plant things on the wall?
Well, yeah, I'd be looking for a way out. And then if eventually when I can't find one, I'd be like, I guess I'll play with this thing and see what this does.
I call shenanigans.
You can call whatever you want. It doesn't make it any less true.
Yeah, true. So they go through this. I guess a door pops open. They would have found the door, too. So you might be right. They would have found, this is weird right here. It's kind of hollow. How do we get through this?
Right, exactly. And they go to... Apparently, Arcane Manor has a well that connects to the swamp. Anyway, so it's Swamp Thing versus Boar Arcane.
Oh, he's got a sword, by the way, the boar dude.
Yeah, and they get into a little fight, and he's trying to... They end up back in the swamp, of course.
Yes.
Because they jump down through the well and swim out.
Oh, hold on. Before I forgot about this. Before those two escape, and the little Bruno
Troll.
Yeah, Bruno Troll, BT. He distracts this boar, the werebull thing, by tripping him and start making little puns, see you next fall. Have enough tripping. It was just dumb.
And then he ran away.
Yeah. Never.
And that's the last we saved him.
Yeah, never seen him.
Never seen again.
Hopefully, shows up in a sequel. Because I like these characters. They're fun characters.
So Arcane's got a sword. He slices at Swamp Thing a few times, and he accidentally stabs Alice to death.
Yeah, right in her breast, her left breast, or into her heart, I guess.
Which makes Swamp Thing mad. So he picks up is it stalagmite or stalactite? What's the one on the ground?
Might, because I think the tights fall from the ceiling. Right?
Yeah, I don't know, but we're going to go with Mike because that's what you said, and if it's wrong, it's Marcus's fault. Anyway, he picks out a stalagmite from the ground and then beats down Arcane with it until we think he's unconscious, so that Swamp Thing can go over and bring Alice back to life with moss. He takes moss off his chest so he can touch her breast, essentially.
Yeah, he fills up for a good amount of time.
But Arcane's not out of the fight yet. He gets up and tries to slice Swamp Thing up,
yeah,
but
he looks
Swamp
at her
Thing
like,
knocks...
Sorry. He's like, I won't get on that action. Sorry. I'm so sorry. That pause. Thank you, TJ. I needed that.
We have 3 scenes left. Can I finish?
Yeah, of course you can. I'm just keeping that in for sure.
Well, I don't cut anything, so...
Oh, I'm going to cut a lot of crap out. Not this one, but just in general when I'm editing.
I just released we did a different podcast earlier from my other show, Anime and Us Solo, episode 1. Check it out if you're interested in Ruby. But we just did an episode, that was the first episode me and Marcus did together. And in the background, he had the window open, the birds were chirping so loud.
Oh, the whole time? I thought I closed it.
So distracting for a long period of time that the whole episode was pretty much a train wreck. And you could hear the birds in the background, and I cut down a lot of the silence and stuff, but I left it all in.
How can the viewers get to this? I would listen to this too.
You can check it out on the Anime and Us Twitter feed. There's a direct link there, or you can go onto Podbean or Spotify. Anime and Us Twitter feed, it's everything in us at podbean.com and spotify.com and pretty much anywhere else you get a podcast. We're everything in us because of this podcast and the comic podcast and the anime one. But the Anime and Us has its own Twitter feed, so
if you like our stuff, share it, like it, retweet it, all that stuff. Let's get back to let's finish this review real quick because we have
I wasn't gonna plug it like that. I just wanted to bring up. I don't cut anything, but Marcus edits this one, so if things are cut out, it's his fault, and he has no sense of fun.
Oh, I have fun. I'm gonna keep all the racial stuff and all that stuff, but all the stutterings and stammering. Besides that joke I made earlier about the stutterers, that's staying in. That's hilarious to me.
So. Where were we?
Swamp Thing and the wolf bear thing are fighting. The joke. I won't get on that action. That's what it was, because he saw something grab her breast and heal her.
Oh, Anton woke up. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I didn't get the joke at first. I was like, that's why I paused. I was like, I don't know what you're talking about, but okay.
No, it's just a dumb section. That was a dumb joke.
Anyway... Swamp Thing manages to get the sword away from him and then chops him down to size.
Yeah, they do it he pushes him on the ground and kills him off screen.
And then, Swamp Thing and Alice has their goodbye because, she's got to go tell their story and heal, and he's a Thing, so he can't be with her. So he lumbers off into the swamp. And then Marcus shows up. The end.
He does show up, doesn't he?
Yeah, he shows up at the end for 3 seconds.
What a weird character.
He shows up for 3 seconds and says, is he going to ever come back? And she's like, probably. I don't know. And he's like, okay. And then it just ends with him lumbering off into the swamp.
I'll probably come back in the studio greenlight the sequel. I don't know, kid. Jeez. Stop asking me these kind of questions. But yeah, it just ends.
Yeah, it does end.
Yeah, this movie just starts and the movie just ends. It's a weird movie.
That is an apt description of it. It definitely is a weird movie.
Yeah.
I came in expecting a horror movie. I kind of got a action movie, but not really.
Yeah, this is categorized as what was it? Action horror, I think. Something horror.
Action, I guess action horror, but it doesn't. It's not scary.
It's horror sci-fi. Definitely sci-fi for sure. But yeah, it's like not one element of scare in it. It's a good looking film. It's not terrible.
No, I mean it's Wes Craven's behind it, so it's decent.
Yes, which is great. I wonder if anyone else would have did it as good of a job as he did.
I will find out because he doesn't do the sequel.
Yeah, no, he does not. And apparently, this got worse reception money wise.
Well, I heard it turned into like a B movie, so.
Oh, okay, I'm cool. Cool about that. Roger Corman level stuff. But yeah, what'd you think of this movie overall?
I don't actually know how I feel about it. It feels forgettable, but it's not.
Yeah, wow, yes.
You know what I mean?
That's exactly how I feel. Like, it's almost forgettable, and it's almost like warrants a second watching, but I'm not going to watch it again. Don't need to.
You know.
There's just no substance to this movie.
I mean, it's pretty faithful from the comic from what I had. It's not really offensive. There's just a lot of weird choices in it. So, yeah. I mean, I didn't regret watching it.
Not at all. Like, if you ever come upon it, give it a watch. You're not going to be angry you watched this thing.
No, I mean, if it comes on TV or something, if you watch TV anymore.
Yeah. If it's ever on a streaming service, you might want to click on it, have it on background.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. That's for sure.
Yes.
I mean, if you're afraid of Swamp Thing, well, seeing the similarities that they did use from the comics and the comparison to it is pretty interesting from a comic book point of view anyway. So... Yeah.
It's only an hour and a half too, so it doesn't feel too long. No, this movie.
That's this movie's best quality.
Yes.
Is that it's only an hour and a half.
This movie knows what it is. It doesn't try to be anything different than what it is, and I appreciate that.
Yeah. So, all right, what are you gonna rate it?
Well, everything we just said, I give this a 5 out of 10. Honestly, it's right in the middle of the road. Could be worse for sure for what it is. It could have been better, I guess. But it's a good movie.
I was actually leaning towards a 6.
Yeah, really.
Because I think it's better than those 1950 Superman movies.
Okay.
Which we gave them, and the Captain America, which we also gave that a 5. And I think it's a little bit better than those, because at least this one's memorable.
That's fair. See, I was rating against, like what I said earlier, that all the box office that year, which just can't, like...
Well, that's my thing.
So much 80s greatness came off that year.
We gave the early stuff like 5s, and then the Superman movie were really good.
Yeah.
So it's not as good as that. So it's in between. So between a 5 and a 7's a 6.
That's fair.
I'm not convincing you. That's my score.
No, definitely. Again, you're justified. Totally justified. You're wrong, but you're totally justified.
Whatever. These idiots don't care anyway.
You guys know what to do. Go suck an egg and suck an egg.